US President Joe Biden has told the press that he had a long talk with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Mr. Biden said it was a private conversation, but did divulge that he has not asked Mr. Netanyahu for a ceasefire. Well, joining us now is Curtin University's Dean of Global Future, Joe Siracusa. Joe, good morning to you and a very Merry Christmas. What do you make of this phone call?
Merry Christmas, Janie. Well, look, it's a very serious phone call. I mean, President Biden's approval ratings are 37. He's losing the Arab American vote. He's losing the black vote in many places. He's lost the Hispanic vote in Arizona. I mean, his carrying of Israel right now is killing his campaign, and there's no way to get around it. He's sort of stuck with Prime Minister Netanyahu, whose own campaign in Gaza has gone sideways. So President Biden, while he did not ask for a ceasefire, he did probably privately asked him to put the brakes on and try to look like he's coming into line. But the call was a desperation call. I mean, Netanyahu's ratings right now his support rating is 4%, Janie, 4%, and 96% of Israelis blame him for the intelligence failure on October 7th. So, Biden is riding a dead horse here, and he doesn't know what to do. And a lot of American people blame Biden for his inability so far to do anything with the Israelis, who are going full throttle in Gaza, and they've turned it into a shooting alley. I mean, it's very, very sad to see. And as you know from the last couple of days, they've called Christmas off in Bethlehem, which is really a shocking kind of an event. I mean, it's just it's hard to come to this. But we have the president's Israeli policy has failed. His Ukrainian policy will fail. And of course, we all remember that day in Kabul when he couldn't get people out on time. This is not a very good foreign policy president. And I think the rest of his party, Janie, is just praying that he will go away because, on that first Tuesday in November, next year, everybody's elected, including the dog catcher, and they don't want to ride that ticket with him. They see that he's very, very unpopular in terms of immigration, the economy, inflation, and the like. And there is just no saving Joe Biden, who's, whatever his cognitive abilities are, he's just been a failed presidency, and the rest of the party just doesn't want to go down the tubes with him.
And it was also a big week for Trump, as you know. Colorado Supreme Court ruling that he was barred, certainly in the primaries. And that was a significant one as well. So what's going to happen here, do you think? Because then we've got the Iowa caucuses to look out for next year.
Well, the Supreme Court in Colorado, that's 7 men and women, 4 of them decided that Trump had been disqualified from being on the ballot as a result of the 14th Amendment, which was really designed to suppress Johnny Rebel from coming back after the Civil War into Congress, destroying the radical Reconstruction Plan for the South. And so they used an old amendment, which has never been used before, to try to get him off the ballot. And they have so far, but that's been stayed until next January, until the appellate court looks at it. And then, of course, the Supreme Court will look at it, and they'll probably throw it out. It doesn't have much of a chance of winning, but it shows you that, at the last minute, Trump's opposition has pulled out every stop to prevent him from going forward. And despite his 4 indictments and 91 felony charges, he's still 30 or 40 points ahead of anybody else. And he's a clear winner in a one-horse race with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or anybody else in 224. And, the world is kind of waiting to see how this thing turns out because Donald Trump just can't be killed off for some reason. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's been able to teach Joe Biden a little lesson on how to survive. And I swear to God, in my many, many years of covering politics, I've never seen a guy survive like this.
It is going to be a fascinating year to watch next year, and certainly before we let you go, the Iowa caucuses. Tell us the significance of it. We've got the Republicans in January, and then the Democrats running after that.
Well, former President Biden has a 30-point lead, but as soon as your side thinks you're winning, they don't show up. they figure, oh, who needs my vote? As a matter of fact, so what he's done is he's turned out thousands of people to work for him in Iowa as volunteers to get people into those caucuses, into their homes, fire stations, schools, and the rest of it. And so he's doubling down there. He doesn't want any surprises. He was beaten there by Senator Cruz the last time they went around. And he reckons that he could sew up the primaries if he wins this one, because no matter what happens in New Hampshire, you then go into the Super Tuesday thing. And Trump's say odds-on favorite to sweep all of this. Maybe not New Hampshire. Maybe the lady from South Carolina, Nikki Haley, will win that one. But Trump wants to make sure his supporters don't take anything for granted. And you know what happens when you take things for granted, you get run over. And so he doesn't want any surprises, and he's pulling out all the stops. And they're spending millions and millions of dollars in the state of Iowa to see if they could improve on their record the last time. And Donald Trump cannot take failure. He's got to win that first big race. If he loses this one, he'll be very perplexed and very angry. And it's hard to imagine what Donald Trump is like if he's any angrier than he is right now.
We have to wrap it up. Joe Siracusa, I hope you are going to have a wonderful day today. Anything big planned?
Just take it easy. I'm in Perth here, which is as laid back as Queensland. So, no one works too hard on Christmas Day around here, I'll tell you that.
No, it's going to be a hot one for you, but always great to see you. A very Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. Take care.
Thank you.